Hello and welcome to another episode of Box Office Shuffle. I'm one of your hosts, Thomas, aka Mr. Warburg. Joining me as always is Chris
Yo!
and Joe.
Hey!
And this week we're partying like it's 1999 because we're going back to late August of 1999 for John McTiernan's / Michael Crichton's The 13th Warrior starring Antonio Banderas, because this is Box Office Shuffle where the three people on screen or in your ears if you're listening on audio bring their physical media collections and put them in a shuffler and spits out what we're going to watch for that week's episode. And this week was the aptly named 13th Warrior, or the aforementioned name 13th Warrior. That's the actual term I should have used. This film came from Joe's collection.
Yes, it did. Small caveat, actually came from my dad's collection that I just took from him, then ripped.
That's how half my collection got built. That's how I just took my family DVDs nobody was watching anymore. It's just like, they're going in my shelves now. Some of them may not move back with me. My collection may get trimmed down when I move eventually. But a lot of the DVDs came from the family back in the day. So Joey does a digital collection. He rips his stuff to a Jellyfin server, and then me and Chris have the more traditional physical collections. But before we get into some of the bits and bobs about the 13th Warrior, Joe, hit us with that back of the box blurb. I'm gonna get that right.
Nailed it. Okay, a Muslim ambassador exiled from his homeland joins a group of Vikings, initially offended damn it, by their behavior, but growing to respect them. As they travel together, they learn of a legendary evil closing in and must unite to confront this formidable force. Ooh.
It's a short blurb. I ain't gonna lie.
It is.
So,
It's like, damn.
as Joe, this was in your collection. You've obviously seen this film. Chris and I had not. So before we get into some more of it, of like, hey, was this worth our time to watch? Chris, what'd you think?
I am surprised that I'd never heard of this or seen it before. I thought it was freaking awesome. I liked this movie a lot.
Yeah.
It was very straightforward. It wasn't like too complex. It was just a nice late 90s kind of like mystery action, and it almost felt a little bit like a Magnificent Seven kind of feel. And I like that.
It's certainly a valid, I mean, the myth and the legend that a lot of the later, like, beyond after he meets the Vikings part is based on the story of the saga of Beowulf, which is one of the, oldest, sagas and epics that we have. Not the oldest, but one of the oldest, especially from, the European cultures. But yeah, so that makes sense that you'd get that sense from that. I also enjoyed it. I gave it, we'll get into scores later, but I definitely hit the like on Letterboxd on my review. More of a log than a review for me, because I'm still working through what I really thought of it, and we'll get into why in a little bit. But some facts and figures. It was released August 27th, 1999, directed, as I said, by John McTiernan, but also uncredited by in large part by Michael Crichton, who oversaw a lot of the reshoots and post-production, and in fact all of the post-production on the film, which ballooned, the budget went crazy, it was a lot. And because of that, is largely regarded as one of the late 90s biggest box office flops. Because the budget ballooned from what was, I think, they were shooting for like $60-70 million maybe. And there are a lot of different reports on what the original budget was supposed to be. But it ballooned way north of $100 million. One report put it at $160 million. By the time the movie actually released. It only made about 61.5 to 62 million. Did decently well on home media and gained a little bit cult classic following in movie culture, and has done decent on streaming, but I haven't been able to find any actual sales numbers or anything like that. But generally seen as a flop, but one that is not a flop because it was bad kind of films, which are its own weird genre of movie. That is definitely man, it'd be interesting to do a whole series of flops that were good. I'm sure there's podcasts that have done that, but this would definitely be in that category for me of flops that were actually pretty darn solid films.
Yeah.
It was originally based on a book by Michael Crichton that was called Eaters of the Dead, which was released in the mid-70s, March 1976 to be specific. And that in and of itself is a loose retelling of the Beowulf tale, largely because when he was, I think it was when he was teaching or something, that he was basically bet you couldn't tell Beowulf and it'd be interesting today. So he was like, bet I'm making a movie or making a book that I would later try to make into a movie multiple times. And the first 3 chapters of the book are based on Ahmad ibn, I can't remember how he says the second name, Faladan or something like that. It's spelled Fadlan, but there's an extra syllable that's pronounced in there, and I couldn't remember where it was. Who was a real person. He was an actual traveling ambassador / missionary that traveled around and was one of the sole, like, really decently articulated writings we have from the Arabic cultures first meeting the Viking culture. Because he actually did meet them and travel with them when they had settled further south into what is now like Ukraine and far western Russia. There was a decent enclave of their culture down there in the 8th and 9th centuries and into the 10th. And that was when he met them, basically, and traveled with them for a time. And he's also written on a number of different cultures that as he traveled around that kind of northern part of what we would consider, the Arabian Peninsula today. Because it's really not that far, really geographically, from where Ukraine sits down through Turkey and into, what we would consider Saudi Arabia. Not really that far apart, geographically speaking. Sorry, my notes are really compact at this part of my spreadsheet, or my notepad, not spreadsheet. It's a lot. McTiernan, is this the first McTiernan movie we've done? Not the first I've talked about. Because he did Die Hard 3, he did Hunt for Red October, he did Last Action Hero. Last Action Hero is one of my all-time favorite movies. It's going to be on my, he did the first Predator.
Yeah.
He did a bunch of stuff. He'd got like 6 just straight up standout, fantastic movies. And Crichton himself directed a couple of things as well. He actually wrote the book Westworld, and then the first movie, Westworld. This movie starred Antonio Banderas, obviously in the lead role. He's by far the most well-known guy.
Yeah.
Omar Sharif is like the other ambassador that goes with him in the first act. You also have Clive Russell. He'd be best known for playing the Blackfish on Game of Thrones. And then you had Vladimir Kulik as what is essentially this film's version of Beowulf. Anybody know where you'd know his voice from? I'm going to give you a franchise. Elder Scrolls.
I was honestly thinking that this movie just made me think of Skyrim, especially from the songs and stuff.
He's in Skyrim. What character? He's a big part of the story.
Like the king?
One of them.
I've never played Skyrim, so
yeah, it's Ulfric. He's Ulfric Stormcloak.
Ulfric? Oh shit!
Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
And then we also have Dennis Storhoy. Depends on how you pronounce the name there. As Herger the Joyful, who apparently nearly died filming this movie. We'll get to that momentarily. Antonio Banderas may have actually saved this man's life filming the underwater scene. All right. So yeah, it was originally attempted to be adapted in 1979 by Orion Pictures at the time, according to Wikipedia and a number of different sources I could find. But that obviously didn't happen. Then it would get picked up in the late 90s. John McTiernan would be attached to direct, though not first, but eventually Touchstone was like, hey, let's go with the guy that made Predator. We got a movie about mythical guys fighting monsters. Let's get the guy that made Predator. He initially wanted to cast Michael Crichton as who Antonio Banderas would play, which I don't think would have fit at all. And apparently behind the scenes, he and Michael Crichton had huge creative differences on tone, where they wanted to go, how they wanted to shoot, the lighting, the action. They did not get along very well on this film. And right as they wrapped production, essentially Crichton's like, get the fuck out of here. I'm going to go reshoot a whole shitload of this movie. I couldn't find which scenes. A lot of times you'll see behind the scenes who did what, like, you're like, hey, at this point we did this with this person, But Crichton didn't even credit himself for those reshoots, and he just basically did the post-production himself, because he had, as I had said, had directed movies before. Also a bunch of TV as well. And the production took so long, largely also because they were replacing the score, too. This was Jerry Goldsmith who did the score. It was originally Graham. I don't know how it's Gareme. Revel, who did the original score. Crichton threw it all out and said, "Jerry Goldsmith, go nuts," which is not that uncommon in movie making. It's one of the apparently last things to get, or the easiest thing to replace, I guess, is the score.
No.
Because obviously it's not put together along with everything else. It's generally done either after the fact, so you can change it up. But during that post-production period, Crichton went, "I'm just going to go make a whole other movie and release it before this one comes out." And he did the Thomas Crown Affair, which was starring Pierce Brosnan, I believe, that came out 3 weeks before this movie and did better at the box office. Yeah, like,
Wow.
That's insane. No,
absolutely wild shit in terms of how the scale of movie productions, how fast things or how slow things generally move. Dude got a whole movie
Yeah.
made, shot, finished, and put to theaters before just post-production was done on this movie. Like, principal was done on this film when he started Thomas Crown Affair. Like, not even, like, it didn't have the script or nothing. Like, or I think it might have had a script, but, like, wasn't filming. And just went and did it. That's insane.
that really is. Holy shit.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely wild. And as I said, Storhoy, when they were filming that underwater sequence going through the river out into the sea, he apparently they were filming this in this water tank, pretty common on film for underwater shoots. And they did actually have a wall that they were having the actors go under. And Banderas didn't for the shot because he's like, "You can't see me anyway." So he just goes under, stays a bit so they can get the shot that they were looking for, and then comes back up. And then there's an interview that I think it was the What Went Wrong pod I found, where he's like, he realized someone's kicking the wall that is in the pool underwater. Like, someone's down there. And because people in the crew were like, "Where the hell's Dennis?" Like, he didn't come up with the rest of the guys, and someone's kicking the wall. And so he goes back down, can't see anything, and just someone grabs his arm and he just yanks him up with him. And apparently he was like foaming at the mouth because he was like, basically was almost going hypoxic because he'd been under the water so long. Yeah.
Holy fuck.
Movie making at times can actually be incredibly dangerous.
Oh my god.
Yeah, like nowadays you'd have like, if there's a water tank and people have to swim down it and stay down, like, you're probably gonna have scuba divers down there that are like, "All right, we're just gonna be down here just in case something happens."
Water
Or, like,
scenes,
some kind of
yeah,
safety net.
yeah, water scenes just always, like, hearing behind the scenes about water scenes, I'm almost like, I would never sign up for a water movie.
Yeah, no.
I cannot for the life of me remember which movie it was. But there's this scene of, like, apparently there had been fecal matter in the water, and everybody got infections, pink eye.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, I want to say it was something, it's something in the mid 2000s that I cannot for the life of me remember the story, like, what movie, but that, like, stuck with me of, just because it's just water that's sitting there. If they're not circulating it or replacing it, if you're filming over
Right.
multiple days, it is not going to be clean to film, and that's can be dangerous going into just the same unsanitary water over and over and over again. Largely why I would never say swim in public water in Iowa ever again.
No, never do.
'Cause it's absolutely terrible out here. Let alone, like, just the general infections, because now most of the lakes have E. coli.
Yeah, that's great.
Oh, it's terrible. Don't do it out here.
Drink up.
But that's most of my notes. What stuck out to you guys from the movie? Like, what did you like? What did you not?
I always enjoyed the part where Antonio Banderas' character is like learning their language basically. And, like the couple scenes where he's like trying to figure out, and it's cutting in and out. And he grabs words here, grabs almost a sentence here, and then eventually one guy makes fun of his mom, and Tony Banderas fires back. And I was like, damn, I don't know. That part of that scene, I'm like, all right, so we're clearly dealing with a very smart man if he can learn a Viking language in like a couple of days. I thought that was really dope.
I also like it because it brings it to the English speaking audience while still saying, "Hey, we're not speaking English here. We're not doing that. We're only translating this for the viewer." this is in a fully different language. He learned their language. And you are seeing this from his eyes. You are now part of this. You've learned the language. You now get to understand it. And I thought that that was like such an interesting way of doing it. And like just being able to see how quickly the camaraderie happens once he learns the language, I kind of like, I vibed with that a lot.
Yeah.
I thought that was a really well done scene.
Same here. I'd echo that. That was one of the first things I wrote down. That's the standout moment for me. There's no subtitles. It's told in a really interesting way on camera and in the script. Like it all comes together and is well acted.
Yes.
It's just I think one of the best ways to show a movie that the language is not the core component, but it is a component of our character being, our lead coming into as an outsider. That language barrier is a core component of his, his journey, and how you tell that initial like obstacle. One of the coolest ways I've ever seen that done.
Yeah, absolutely. I also really like just like the mystery that they built up with it. I thought the way they built up, like, I mean, I went into this and hearing the mystery, just being like, it's probably just people that are they're misunderstanding what the trouble is. But I thought the way that they built it up, and like they had those moments that made the viewer just like, oh wait, is it not just that simple? Wait, why are the bodies missing? Did they actually get up and go away, or did they just disappear? Like, I liked the way they presented the mystery a lot in this one.
Yeah. And had either of you guys read or seen adaptations of the story of Beowulf before?
I've seen the animation of Beowulf.
The one with Angelina Jolie?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Yeah. I mean, and I think, hear it in like a game I know you recently played, Joey. Assassin's Creed Valhalla shows up there. And I've seen a number of different adaptations of it over the years. Obviously, never read the source text because, frankly, we only have the one source text from like the 1700s somebody found, and then it almost got burned down. And there's a bunch of translations that are apparently all over the fucking map. It's a whole thing. Apparently, Tolkien writes about it a lot of like, man, translating this thing is a bitch. Because it's like the original source language we don't have a huge grasp of. So like then translating into a modern language is incredibly difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Makes sense.
Because it's seen as like it's a foundational text story of a lot of Western literature in terms of like sagas and heroes and stuff that would come in many later centuries. In fact, I don't even think they know exactly when it was written. If I remember the history of it right. It's just kind of a. I mean, not to touch base too much. Like the Odyssey's kind of like we know a lot about some of it, but a lot we don't. It's a weird oral history that then got written down. And we're all figuring it out many hundreds, if not thousands of years later. So what didn't work for you guys? For me, it's the long cabin scene, the first one where they're fighting at night. Absolutely, just a clusterfuck.
Very chaotic. I'm going to second that. It just like pure chaos of poking. But
not like a chaos that has a point of like it's trying to be about chaos. It's like, I can't tell who's fighting who.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. I'm like, the Vikings fighting each other? What's going on? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll have to agree with that. That's probably my only bad that I could think of.
I mean, I didn't have too much of an issue with that, especially because if you're seeing it from the point of view of Antonio Banderas, he's never been a warrior. He even goes into that fight being like, "I'm not a warrior," and the other guy being like, "Well, you're about to be." And to be somebody who's never been in a battle like that, the way they tell that story of the chaos. I mean, they do it a lot with editing, and I mean, I've had plenty of classes on storytelling techniques and that kind of thing back at college and whatever. And I know that like editing something like that to if you edit it like that to confuse the audience, it's to say, hey, the person you're vibing with here is also confused. It's why when it's done correctly, which I think they did it when they went to that cabin after they found the boy running away, they did a Dutch tilt really well in that one to be like, okay, Antonio Banderas is piecing things together. He sees something he doesn't like. The Dutch tilt happens, which makes you feel uneasy because he feels uneasy and walks out and throws up. It's like, those are the kinds of things that just visually tell a story and get the viewer in the same mindset as the main character that you're following. So I didn't find an issue too much with the way that they did that first scene. I would say that scene probably is a little bit dark, like lighting wise, which does make it hard to follow. I don't think that's part of the storytelling technique, so I do think that's a little bit of an issue. But the way that they quick cut things, I will say they did the classic. We shot this at 24 frames a second and we decided to play it back at 48 frames a second kind of thing. It's like, no, it's not great. You got to plan those, especially when later in the movie, like, you have those planned slow-mo scenes, and it's like, oh,
he's like,
okay,
riding
you shot on 48 frames. Yeah. So it's like that wasn't great. But I don't think there were too many points in this movie where I was like too drawn out of it to be like, oh, I should check my phone real quick or whatever. Like, I was like glued to the screen for this movie. I really enjoyed it. It felt very almost like a darker, like gosh, like kind of like a dark Goonies vibe almost, with like how they go into a cave and like there's a mystery and everything.
It's got some set pieces.
It was funny.
It's got some set pieces there at the end.
Oh yeah. It was fantastic. I loved that. It actually, that set piece, I don't know if you guys have ever been to Casa Bonita.
Oh yeah.
No.
I think it's
Casa Bonita.
Where they have like the
divers and everything. Yeah.
Cliff divers and everything. It's like, Joey, okay.
It is like what's in the South Park episode.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Casa Bonita is fantastic. You go in, for anybody who doesn't know, you go into this place and it's essentially supposed to just be a restaurant, but also it has like arcade games, and so like you can go play skee ball while you're waiting for your food or whatever. You order your food, and then there's also like a stage show.
Yeah.
But the stage includes a waterfall in this building. And I always remember that every time I went, I don't know if this is the same for you, Wartburg, but there was always a guy in a gorilla suit.
I don't remember that.
As part of the stage show. And he would like dive off into the water as like a cliff diver. It was crazy. I loved this place. It's so stupid. It makes no sense that this place works. And yet I would pay to go to that place.
Yeah.
Again at any moment.
Yeah, it is a wild experience, and this was before Parker. The guys bought it from South Park that I went many years ago. It was probably 2010 that I went, and yeah, it was wild.
Yeah,
and the food's alright.
Last time I went was, the food is okay.
It's like a slightly above average Mexican
place.
Food.
Yeah. But it's such a fun fun place.
But what we've tried to say, this is like Casa Bonita for. Where'd that connection come from?
So sorry. The set piece of like when they go to, what was the name of the bad people? The Wendell or something?
Yeah, it's like supposed to be like a take on Gwendol or Grendel from the Beowulf story.
That makes sense. So when they go to find the caves of the Wendell, like that first area where they go in, it's like these rope bridges and all that kind of stuff. Then you go down further, and there's the waterfall that they have to swing into and climb down, and like it just felt so Casa Bonita to me. And I was like,
That's so funny.
it's great. It's great. Where's the monkey?
This is why we do the podcast, because I would have had no idea that's where his brain was going.
Yeah.
None at all.
It's a waterfall.
And I've known Gamma like 10 years, probably. Maybe more, or 12. No idea that's where you were going.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, man. So, Chris, is this something you'd want to add to your collection?
I would probably add this to my collection if I can find a DVD or a Blu-ray of this. Sure.
If you wanted Blu-ray, you got to get a
Absolutely.
German copy. That's the only one that was ever made. There was no U.S. Blu-ray release.
All right, my German friend who watches this, be on the lookout. I need it.
Now, apparently, it is fairly region-friendly in terms of, like, it'd play on North American stuff if you could find it.
Okay.
I did see one on
Right.
eBay for, like, $20. Which, as far as,
That's not bad.
like,
It's not bad.
not in-print Blu-rays, as I said in the pre-show, go.
Mhm.
Not bad. Not bad at all.
Mm-mm.
Like, the Knight's Tale 4K is, like, $150. Because it's out of print.
Jeez.
It's wild, right?
Ooh.
Like, so, you know, as far as cult classic stuff goes, not that crazy. Like, Dogma was nuts a while back before they had the final, like, hey, you could buy it again. Because you couldn't buy the Blu-ray. They hadn't printed it since, like, '08 or something. Like, and then they had the was it the 20th anniversary 4K? Now you can buy it, so it's way cheaper. But it was pretty nuts there for a while.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, I liked it, but it would definitely be if I saw this at like a Jay's CD and Hobby at a half price books at a decent thrift store that like the copy's good,
Mhm.
maybe I'd buy it for like $5.
Mm-hmm.
That wouldn't shock me. Wouldn't be mad to have it in my collection. Not sure how many times I'd ever watch it, but it'd be nice to have in the collection as far as collections go. It's a pretty solid movie.
I would say, like, if I was to watch it again after owning it, it would be like, I need something on in the background while I do something, so that every 15 minutes I can come back and be like, all right, take a 5-minute break while I watch this fight scene, then back to work, or come back, watch this.
This would be a
Specific
good, like,
scene, so.
while I'm hosting and, like, cooking. Everyone else is, like,
Mhm.
watching
Oh.
this kind of movie.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
while
this is
I'm
a
doing
good
something.
party movie. Yeah.
Got that vibe. Where it fit in that kind of fantasy space, where it could work as that.
Yeah, I agree.
Before we get to scores, do you want to go to our most long-running segment of our connection?
I mean,
I know
we
the
did
obvious answer.
yeah. We
'Cause-
did kind of do this already because Eric Avari is in this movie.
For a scene.
So
Yeah.
for
Like
a
one.
scene,
counts.
It does.
Was there anybody else that
Uh,
connected to Kingpin?
There was a movie that released the same year, only 4 months later. It is a Christmas miracle, everybody. It came out on December 25th, 1999 in the USA. It's called Play It to the Bone.
What
And
the
it's
fuck?
Antonio Banderas and Woody Harrelson as boxers.
What?
What? I've never heard of
What
this.
the fuck is this
The
cover?
overview. 2 aging fighters in LA, friends, get a call from a Vegas promoter because his undercard fighters for a Mike Tyson bout that night are suddenly unavailable. He wants them to box each other. Great. There's a reason it probably has a 54 on this site.
Mhm.
I mean, I've never heard. It has Lucy Liu in it?
Let's see here. Who we also got? Tom Sizemore, Lucy Liu. Nobody else
This
really
looks-
big that I know. I mean, you get some cameo appearances because
Yeah.
it's in LA. Looks like a
Right.
bunch of cameos, and it is a low budget film. Ron Shelton. I kind of recognize the name. Oh, he did Bull Durham. Okay. That's a great sports movie.
Great. Yeah.
He did White Men Can't Jump.
Mhm.
Huh. Apparently he was also a writer on Bad Boys 2. shit just got real.
Really?
Well, what do you know? We learned something new here on Box Office Shuffle, a movie
Yeah.
I had never heard
I
about
know.
from actors that I have. And that is our connection to
Yeah.
Kingpin, which is the longest running segment we have because Joey made us watch Kingpin. And now we find a connection from every movie on to that dog shit he made us suffer through.
And that connection to this episode is apparently, as of recording, yesterday was Kingpin's birthday.
It was.
Jeez.
What?
And we're over 2 years old now as a podcast. Did you guys know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been doing it over 2
Yeah,
years.
we're almost able to drink.
We're almost up to episode 50. That'll be in 2. This is episode 48 in total. So it is season 4, episode 11, technically on the podcast services, which we may renumber when we get to a milestone. We'll see. TBD.
Mm.
But yeah, should we go to scores? What would you guys give this?
I'll go with a 4.
I'm gonna stick right there with Joey. This is a 4.
4 and a 4, and I'm a 3.5. So we'll go with the majority says 4. So 4.5 for Box Office Shuffle.
Woo.
4 to 5. All right. So before we get into what our last movie of this season, as I said, is going to be, this is 4/11. We're going to do 12 episodes this season, which is going to be another Joey pick. This one, not a Discord choice. Our Discord chose this, I should say. We chose between, it was The Emperor's New Groove. What was your choice, Chris?
Shanghai Noon.
Shanghai Noon.
Mm.
And this, The 13th Warrior. So, Joe, I hope you have yours ready. But before we get to that, you and I went to go see The Odyssey down in Des Moines on IMAX. Absolutely stunning.
See it. So good.
Chris, you're
highly
near a
recommend it.
70 millimeter, by the way. If you can, go.
I need to go see it.
Yes.
My parents go see my brother and sister-in-law next week. So I might try and I'll see if I can find a 3-hour window to go see it
Nice.
because I really want to.
Absolutely worth it. I'm curious how the 70 mil would like feel. Because now we saw it, the Palms and Waukee is not a 70 millimeter, but it is a awesome IMAX experience. It's fantastic. And we also went to 4 places for used movies. One was like a flea market that just happened to have movies. We found some weird shit. Like, I found this Hancock Fallout 4 Funko Pop, $5.
I'm gonna be honest. I saw you post that picture and I was like, that doesn't look like Will Smith at all. Dude, this must be what is it, Charlize Theron or something? Like,
And yeah, like, but then I found it later at another used place, $15. So I got a great deal on it. I
Nice.
didn't find you any Kane and Jarrus. I was looking.
oh, my boy.
But Joe, since your movie's up first and what we're buying, what did you find on our used movie excursions?
At the first place we went to, I found actually a season 1 collection of 30 for 30, still sealed.
Which
It's
are very
awesome.
well put together documentaries by ESPN.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And then at JCD Hobbies, I've got Advent Children on Blu-ray for Final Fantasy VII.
Is that the one that didn't have the disc?
No, it did have the disc. The only one that didn't have the disc was the video game that I've been fucking searching for.
Did you call
And
them?
then finally the piece to... Yeah, I did. I got it. It was like a couple days shipping.
Oh,
It
okay.
was perfect. Yeah. Yeah. No, they were awesome customers. So I was like, yeah, we'll get it.
Yeah,
send
they're
it
great.
to you.
JCD and Hobby in Des Moines
Yeah.
and Ankeny.
Oh, so
Top
good.
tier place that's not like a big chain.
Yeah. I got the final season, part 1 of the Mad Men. Oh, I've been searching that for so long. And then I've got The Swordsman, which is kind of caught up to me. That's some movie I'd probably like. And then I got Boondock Saints 2 on Blu-ray. This is very nice. And then don't need to cover video games, but yeah, it's
You
kinda
bought a
most of the
movie
movies I got.
poster. Do you have that on
I
hand?
did. Machete. I gotta show it to you.
Yeah.
Machete.
It's specifically the second one. Machete kills.
Oh, is it? Nice.
Part of me is still mad
No,
we
that's
never got Machete in space.
It's
Yeah.
it's It's so weird to me how Danny Trejo is like the most gruff person in all of his films. He's like the nicest person in real life.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's such a sweetheart.
And he's
real
got
life.
some
I love
absolutely
it.
wild stories from a life well lived.
Mm-hmm.
Like, holy
Yeah.
shit.
If you ever watch, like, if you have the chance to watch, there was like the Bear Grylls did a thing where he went with like celebrities and they would do like a overnight excursion with a celebrity somewhere. And I think he went with Danny Trejo like through the Grand Canyon or some kind of canyon or something. And it is a fantastic watch to because he like asks about Danny Trejo's life and everything, and just watching him talk about like how he grew up, what his upbringing was, and how he was able to get to the life that he's at is just fantastic. So I recommend that if you can see it.
Mm-hmm. And then for me, for my collection, I added a whole bunch of stuff, as you can see. We got Star Wars Rebels Season 1, so now I have Seasons 1 and 2.
Yes.
And I gotta get 3 and 4. Because they did make Blu-ray releases of those individually. I bought Gravity.
Yep.
From Sandra Bullock. That was free,
Nice.
because I have the buy 3, get the 4th free. The Man from U.N.C.L.E., which I actually quite enjoyed that film.
Is that the Henry Cavill one?
The Henry Cavill one. And then I
Nice.
happened to find Exodus Gods and Kings, which isn't a bad movie. I quite enjoyed that. Not the best telling of that story. That's still Prince of Egypt for me, but it's pretty good. And then a movie I've been meaning to watch for a long time, but never did, was Moon with Sam Rockwell. He plays like a bunch of clones of himself.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And then a movie that behind the scenes I have now found out might be getting a 4K remaster next year, which will tick me off because I spent $7 on this. But Crimson Tide is a really solid Gene Hackman, Denzel Washington military submarine movie. Really solid. Definitely like a good 1-2 punch to watch with Red October. Another John McTiernan flick. The Breakfast Club, which I've never owned before.
Nice.
About that. I got another movie, and then I'm now one away from getting my Mighty Ducks collection together. I have D3. I just got to get the first one. And then the last but not least, the other VHS release from Stranger Things, which I bought season 1 last time I was out near Chris in Chicago.
Yep.
So we found season 2.
Maybe you'll find another one when you're out here.
They stopped making the VHS sets after 3.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah.
so dumb.
That's annoying.
Very dumb. It really pissed me off.
Because imagine like all the seasons are like displayed like old.
They have it
VHSs
now.
on
You
the
can
shelf,
get the
just,
1 through 5, but it's nowhere near as fucking rad as this shit. These things were awesome. Look at what they took from us.
I know. Greedy choice.
All right, so that's enough of what we went through. Normally, I'd throw up the randomizer wheel and give you the whole spiel about the randomization and stuff. But
Spin
Joey,
the wheel. Let's see what's happening next. Come on, throw it up there, Warfare. Get up. Get up there. We gotta figure it out.
the only host left is Joe. So Joe, what are we watching?
A Knight's Tale, baby.
Yes!
Yeah! Let's go.
So
Yes!
excited. This is a garage sale find. I love it.
Dude, that's
I'm
like
so
one of the best
excited.
movies of all time.
I know.
Yeah, it is
I'm
one
so
of
amped.
those. This should not be as fucking good as it is. Goddamn.
My
Goddamn.
my high school graduation party, people who stayed after like the official party was over, we threw up a projector and we did a whole like a king size bed sheet, white sheet, hung it up on the wall at night, and we all just like we moved all of the living room, like all of the furniture out of the living room, put down like sleeping bags, and we all just sat and we watched Knight's Tale on my wall through a projector.
Hell yeah.
Yes.
It was so good.
Dude, what an absolutely
that movie.
stellar movie. I cannot think of a better movie to go out on for the year. Or for the season, I should say, not the year. We're going to do more this year.
Whoa.
That's a pretty darn way to round out our episodes in our 40s. Before we hit number 50.
We're gonna have to figure out what our top what our movie rankings are as well.
Yeah, I
Oh,
know.
this is gonna be a hard one this year.
Yeah,
actually.
the final episode of each season, why we do them in seasons is because we'll do the last, 11, 12 movies. One time I think we did 13. And we'll rank them at the end to like, hey, what was our favorite collectively? We'll give them an average ranking. And like now we're 4 seasons in, so we'll go through. I'll give the rundown. I've got the rankings from seasons 1, 2, 3. In fact, I might have each of us do a season. We're like, Joe will do season 1, Chris will say season 2, I'll do 3, and then we'll go through the actual rankings of 4. It's going to be a good time because we got a ton of great movies. We did In Bruges. We did Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. The 98 Godzilla. I don't know if I'd say awesome. We did the Pelican Brief. Don't know if I'd say awesome. What? Fun with Dick and Jane. We did the Mummy. The 99 Mummy. Interstellar. What else did we do? Hang on.
We started with Constantine.
No, we started with A Few Good Men.
Yeah,
A Few Good Men.
we did start with A Few Good Men.
Then Constantine. And then it was an animated flick, Justice League Crisis on Two Earths.
That's right.
It was one of our first like non-theatrical release films or movies, I should say.
This might be the first season where I don't put one of Joey's movies in last place.
You I'll change. I'll grab Godfather 3. We'll go through this.
I have a
Dude,
feeling
if we start Knight's Tale next week and then it goes into this Italian music and it's like The Godfather, I will find you.
Don't come
And
through
I
Frodo.
will Liam Neeson all over the place. Okay? It's not gonna be pretty for you.
Okay, I see what you want.
oh, that's the energy this show brings out in people. Hopefully that brings out some energy in the comments. Let us know what you thought of the 13th Warrior in the comments, or a review if you want to get nuts and leave us a 5-star with your review of the movie. That'd be awesome too. Maybe we'll even read that on air. Who knows?
We read things that you write?
Yeah, maybe we'll make
I'll
Joey
read it.
read the reviews.
I'll
Joey will read
read
the reviews.
Yes.
You can't say Rafe Fiennes. He's going to read the reviews. I need to clip out how you said his name the first time, just to have
my
it
God,
like just for my own edification. Like, I'm not going to put you on blast on social media or anything.
No, you're good.
It
You
was
can.
fucking
It's
hilarious.
so
Damn near
bad.
broke me. I called him Raffle Fiennes. It was incredible.
What the fuck?
That was incredible. So if you leave a review, and it's 5 stars, because that helps us grow. Like we're Etsy, it has to be 5, or it's nothing. Joey will read your review, and he will butcher it and your name. It'll be great. All right, well, we're gonna.
Okay, hold on. So one of my friends, one of the guys we like, commissioned me a bunch. So if you don't know, my name is Gamma Crichton on the socials, but they call me Gamma Kagubador sometimes. And they sent me this after watching the beginning of the In Bruges video, saying, "Not sure if I can call you Gamma Kagubador now, after your friend has proven themselves a bigger goob in the beginning of the In Bruges video. Please inform them that they are one." And I asked, "You mean Joey? I think we all know Joey is a goob."
Oh shit! Oh, that's fantastic.
That's so good.
That's fantastic. Oh god.
Uh,
Oh well, Tom, thanks for tuning in. By the way, I'm sorry that episode took so long to get out. That oh my god, that Mecha Chameleon edit damn near broke me. Oh shit, that was fun. That
we
took
need to
so
do it
long.
again.
All right, now we're gonna get out of here, and
Yeah.
we'll see you in roughly 2 weeks, maybe less, maybe more, give or take. Stay tuned on social media for A Knight's Tale as we close out, and then do our rankings for season 4. As Joey waves goodbye.
Bye.
Paul Bettany, top 10 butts.
Oh, we rate
You know,
butts this
Jennifer
season?
Connelly would agree.
That sounds, she's got good taste.
Indeed.